Here are three different dads your children will know, and somehow they are all you. When they are little, you know everything. You know why the moon follows the car. You know how to fix the toy. You know where the missing shoe is, how to make the strange noise stop, and what to do when the world feels too big. To a young child, Dad is not just a person. Dad is an answer. Dad is safety. Dad is the hand they reach for without thinking. Then one day, something changes. They get older. The questions become more complicated. The world gets louder. Their friends become more important. And the dad who once knew everything suddenly seems to know nothing. Your advice feels old-fashioned. Your jokes are embarrassing. Your questions feel like interference. You tell them to be careful, and they hear that you do not trust them. You tell them that something matters, and they are certain that you could not possibly understand. This part can be difficult for a dad, because you remember the child who once thought you could fix anything, and now you are standing outside a closed bedroom door, wondering whether to knock. But this is not always rejection. Sometimes it is growing. Children need to believe they can step away from you before they can choose to come back. So your job changes. You stop being the answer to every question. You become the person who is still there when they are ready to ask. That may mean giving advice they ignore. It may mean collecting them late at night without turning the car journey into a lecture. It may mean saying I was wrong. It may mean listening to a problem you cannot solve. And it may mean loving them through a season where they do not make it easy. Because being a dad is not about winning every argument. It is about making sure the relationship survives the argument. Then, if life is kind, something changes again. They get older, they get a job, they make mistakes. They become responsible for people other than themselves. Some of them become parents, and slowly, the dad who knew nothing begins to know something again. They remember the lifts, the early mornings, the money you quietly went without, the times you were tired but still showed up. They remember that you always checked the door was locked, that you stood outside in the rain, that you answered the phone, that you tried, and they begin to understand something they could not see as children. You were never a man who knew everything. You were a man who carried responsibility while still learning how to carry it. You were afraid sometimes. You got things wrong. You worried about problems they never knew existed. And you kept trying to make the world feel safe for them, even when it did not feel safe to you. That may be one of the deepest parts of being a dad. Your children do not need you to be perfect. They need to see what a good man does when he is not perfect. He apologizes. He keeps his word. He treats people with respect. He puts the phone down. He comes back after a difficult day. He makes room for laughter. He lets his children know that strength and tenderness can live in the same person. The small moments matter more than most dads realize. The walk to school, the bedtime story you have read too many times, the conversation in the car, the cup of tea after a hard day, the moment you stop what you are doing and really listen. You may not remember all of them. Your children might. So if your children are small, enjoy being the man who knows everything. If they are teenagers, do not be frightened by the season where you know nothing. And if they are grown, be grateful when they begin to see you clearly, not as a hero, not as a fool, but as their dad, a human being who loved them, a man who was learning too, and perhaps one day they will call you because they need an answer, not because they think you know everything, but because they know you will be there.